Hello, good evening to all of you, and welcome to our class, to our subject, Law Related Studies. Based on its title, this subject will talk about laws that are related to education. So, in fact, I have already posted or uploaded in our Google Classroom the pertinent laws that you need to read and familiarize with, because these are the laws that we are going to discuss and explore in this subject throughout the semester. So why is it important to read and understand these laws? How is it relevant to our life or to your life as future teachers, and who will in the future be part of the educational system of the country? As you see, these laws are important because these are the laws that will guide us or will guide you as future teachers on what to do, how you should conduct yourselves as classroom teachers. Because with these laws, you will be guided accordingly, and you will keep yourselves safe from violating these laws. If you observed sa balita, sa radio, or sa television, or sa newspapers, you have heard about or you have learned about teachers being involved in cases pertaining to students. No, dunay mga dismiss, or other teachers are being suspended or penalized because they simply do not know about the law. That is why it is important that we will study these laws, so that in the future, when you will already be teachers teaching the children in the school, you will be guided and you will know what to do and what not to do, so that you will be safe as well as your pupils. Both of you will be safe and enjoy the learning environment that is provided by the school. Okay, so what are the expected competencies that you are going to develop in this course? First is that you will understand and know the laws related to education. As I mentioned earlier, I have uploaded in our Google Classroom 4 laws that you should read and understand. We have the Anti-Bullying Law. This is one of the latest laws promulgated by the state in order to protect and defend pupils and students who are normally or usually subjected to bullying that's happening inside the school. So it is important that you should know the guidelines, the provisions of these laws about anti-bullying, because as teachers, you have great responsibility in preventing bullying to occur in your school, and what you should do and what the school should do if in case bullying is happening inside the school premises. The second law that we're going to talk about is the Data Privacy Law. This is important because this is another new law being introduced by the government, and this will also include the pupils, students in the school. So this law protects data, personal data, or any data of your students and pupils. Sometimes there are teachers who get into trouble because they just don't know that they have been exposing or should not be divulged, because this will jeopardize the safety of your students. So for example, posting the names and pictures of your students in the Facebook, or posting or uploading the grades of your students, or showing the data, the personal data, date, birth, address of your pupils. So there is a law that governs on how to handle this data, and this is taken care of by the Data Privacy Law. Another law that we're going to discuss is the Anti-Sexual Harassment Law. As you know, the school is one of the institutions or places where sexual harassment normally occur. And as teachers, we should know what is sexual harassment and how to handle sexual harassment. You being students, and in the future you will be teachers, so you should know, and we should know, how to determine whether there is sexual harassment and how to manage if sexual harassment occurs in your school. Then we have another law, that is the Anti-Vowsi Law. Vowsi means violence against women and children. Okay, so this is important because this involves children and children in your classroom. Okay, so there are certain provisions in the law that will guide us on how to manage your pupils or children who are protected by this law. And of course, another thing that we're going to discuss, or that we are going to discuss in this subject, is about rights. Katungod, right of your children, right of the school, and right of teachers. So these are the things that we're going to explore in this subject. By and large, when we have explored already all these laws, at least we already know how to manage and handle ourselves inside the classroom, so that we will be safe from any complications when the time comes. After you have familiarized yourselves with the laws, the pertinent laws that are related to the educational setting, the next thing that you are going to develop, the next competency that you have to develop, is to analyze situations, events, or occurrences inside the school premises or inside the school campus, and try to look at these things in view of the different laws that we have studied. Meaning to say that there should be application of what you have learned in the events, in the issues and problems that are happening inside the school. You have to learn to analyze whether or not these practices, these events are in accordance with the law, or if they are in violation of the existing laws. So, from theory, you have to apply this into the events, the circumstances, issues, problems that are occurring in our school or in your school. And of course, the last that you have to develop, competency that you have to develop in this course at the end of the semester, is for you to be knowledgeable and for you to apply these concepts to yourselves, as students and as future teachers. That is why it is important that your knowledge, your understanding about the law, about rights, and about everything or anything pertaining to school will not only be up to the level of your intellect, up to the level of your mind or your brain, but you must be able to apply this into your action, so that you yourselves will know what is legal and do it, and you will also know what are illegal actions, and you will also avoid these actions. It should be manifested in your behavior, in your actuation, in your action, what you have learned, the laws that you have learned in the entire semester. So I hope that we will be having an enjoyable semester. You will know more about the law, and you will understand more about your duties and obligations as teachers. From the very start, we say that teaching is a noble profession. It will become meaningful to you if in the first place you love teaching. It is a personal choice. It is your personal choice. But if this is something imposed on you, then perhaps you have to think twice whether to continue with your studies or not, because there are certain laws, provisions of the law that you have to take into consideration, so that in the end you will not put yourself in a difficult situation. So in my next video, we will now start to discuss about the different topics that are contained in our course, Law Related Studies.